Hey guys, B.O.L.T here. We're here for B.O.L.T Entertainment, the quickest entertainment I can give you. Welcome to the giant complication that is the new trilogy of freaking Finance of Freddy's. Ugh. It feels like Star Wars right now. You have the original trilogy of Finance of Freddy's 1, 2, and 3. And then you have the prequel trilogy slash an ending movie, and then now you have the sequel trilogy. It very does feel like a Star Wars. The Golden Three, then you got the Alrightish 3, and then you got the What the Heck 3. So, starting with AR, Special Delivery. This is one of the most convoluted things to figure out how to put it on any Finance of Freddy's timeline. All we know is that Fazbear Entertainment decided to make their animatronics again and redesign them so they can be basically Circus Baby rentaled out in, I guess it's supposed to collect remnant. But the only thing that really matters that we can even understand is the secret emails you get from playing the game after a certain point in time. And this is basically, hey, we get introduced to Vanessa. And we learn that she's looking stuff up. We learn that she's not supposed to be looking certain things up. And it kind of puts her in the position of she's getting possessed or not in her own body. And then we have actually I should have started with is VR, because this explains what these emails are for. And this is basically to come back as an entity. Fazbear Entertainment has to set up a game designer to make the original Finance Freddy's games and make it to where the bad news is nothing but a joke, so they can get people's trust going again. And they set up this game design, I think it's like Silver Paracel or something, and just remake all the games and make light of the situation. And there's only two things you should know about VR. One, that William Afton, thanks to Springtrap's, they go and find this memory boards of Springtrap and just scan him in, and ta-da! The consciousness of Purple Guy / William Afton, not his memories, but his a digital recreation of him, is put inside this VR game, and he's basically stashed away by Tape Girl across this game, and you got to put them back together. I believe she tricks you into thinking, hey, collect all these tapes, and you're basically hearing the end of it to the beginning of it. Her relationship with Mal Hair or Glitch Trap changes. It's basically the end of the tapes are saying, hey, I discovered this glitch. It's getting worse as it goes. I discarded it. And the very end of it is, you should collect all these tapes to prevent this from going any bigger, which collecting the tapes is the reason why Glitch Trap is able to possess the person using the VR headset. Which, thanks to the Dreadbear DLC, we learn that he was able to get a hold of someone through the VR system, and thanks to AR, we learned we don't know it's Vanessa, but we know it's one of these people that is a part of a tech team that are dealing with special delivery. And she deals with the VR as well. And she basically just is the reason why Glitchtrap is able to get out, possess someone, and she becomes like a helper kind of, and that's really it. Is she becomes a copycat killer thanks to the possession of Glitchtrap. And then we have the most unsolved part of Five Nights at Freddy's is security breach. We don't have the Ruin DLC to help us at all, and I bet that's gonna make us even more confused. We have a kid named Gregory running from the head of security and the only security, Vanessa, who, through messages, we learned that she was hired by the CEO or a higher up to get her in as the head security. She has no background. Thanks to VR and AR, we know that she gets possessed. And we also learn by the end of the game that, you have to free her versus letting her consciousness out. But then we have, Glitchtrap, who just gets stuffed into Burn Trap, kinda. Glitchtrap kind of just, I think it's split in half between possessing Vanny and being a part of Burn Trap, which is not actually William Afton, or it's supposed to be William Afton. It's a very weird concept. Then we have the fact that Michael might be possessing Glamlock Freddy because he thinks that Gregory is the crying child, or thanks to MatPat, this is supposed to be a robot child from the books that is meant to be the crying child as a robot child. And then, hey, backstory. We learn that, Vanessa's been going through therapists like crazy and that most of them died. We also learn that possibly Gregory or a twin of Vanessa has been also counseled and is the reason why they're dying. I've seen MatPat's Ultimate Timeline. He makes so many jumps, but I'm gonna make it canon until Five Nights at Freddy's Room comes out. That is how I feel about this trilogy. It is just the quickest video I'm gonna make, and it's just Gregory's a robot. Vanessa may have a twin thanks to security breach, Fury or whatever. The VR twins, thanks to Fajon, that there might be Vanny and Vanessa, and one of them is the evil twin, one's the good officer twin. But that doesn't make sense because there's some reason that Vanessa gets hired in for some reason. Tomorrow's going to be a lot better of a video because I'm going to write down every single thing that the books give us. I'm not going to cover the entire story of every book. I'm just going to say this does this to the Five Nights at Freddy's explanation. These three, all they did is set up that Vanessa was a tech person. She was a part of the VR team and the special delivery team. Due to her being a part of the VR team, she gets possessed by Glitchtrap. She then goes on to use special delivery to go cause chaos and get Remnant and use. That's where it blocks off. An outside force is able to get her as the security guard, a head of security, where she can murder more kids for William Afton, get him into Burn Trap, and that is all for Vanessa. Then Gregory, either he's some random kid that's off the streets that has somehow no records, which you gotta. I'm sorry, I don't like the theory of the robot kid, but if it's got no records, this kid has to have a record. He's only like 8 years old. He's just he can't come out of nowhere unless he's literally just born on the streets. He's got to. Five Nights at Freddy's doesn't do anything for no reason. So Gregory has to be a robot kid, and he's got to be the subconscious of crying child. Which the only reason I feel like Vanny needs crying child is either they're trying to remake the Afton family, or he's just supposed to be like. My theory originally when I heard about Gregory being a robot was I'm gonna keyboard smash this. That William was trying to take over Gregory as a robot consciousness so he can live on as a living humanish being, because Gregory / Crying Child is the closest genetic copy to him. And just living in that body might be able to make him live and recreate what he did in the past. But now with a robot identity. Thanks to a book, we do understand that Gregory is possibly the hacker for the animatronics, for games, for the reason that Vanessa got into the first place. It is hard to do words for security breach. VR and AR were so quick that security breach is just all over the place. Kid breaks in. Kid isn't got a record. Kid gets hunted down by head of security. Then gets hunted down by a replica of William Afton. Tries to bring him to actual William Afton. Apparently, Michael Afton possesses Freddy. Apparently, the kid is now a hacker that can hack into everything, but has no memory of what's happening and why he's getting hunted down. Unless he's lying to Freddy. Freddy would... Pat, that's a problem. If Freddy worked for Mrs. Afton, that means he had to run across Gregory. Unless they were seriously she was so strict to keep Michael and Gregory apart. I'm not going to call this a fandom history. This is just going to be the literal fandom for these three. That is what I'm going to title this. I went over pieces of scraps that were given for this game. So, now it's time to actually do the video. VR happens. Fazbear Entertainment creates the games by paying a developer to make these games for a joke. The developer then gets sued for making such games so that it looks good on Fazbear Entertainment for having this kind of criticism out there. So Fazbear Entertainment makes a VR version of this, taking the old titles into actual VR and basically it's fine until the circuit boards of Springtrap get scanned, bringing in the digital consciousness of William Afton, which he then is able to possess, will try to possess a guy named Jeremy who's a part of the VR tech team, but thanks to Jeremy's fight back, he just kills himself by slicing off his face. Then there's Tape Girl, who tries to stop Glitchtrap by spreading the data digital consciousness across multiple tapes, which she basically sets you up to fail by saying on the very few first tapes, collect the tapes, be able to stop him by rebooting the system, which by doing so does stop you from getting possessed. But I believe it's just setting you up to fail because it's so dangerous to collect the tapes in the first place. So doing the flipping the switch and all that doesn't do anything, because seriously, the credits of the original game of Help Wanted is you getting possessed by Glitchtrap on stage and then you switching spots where you're now a part of the game and he's over here dancing in the background. I believe that's supposed to be the end of the game. That is supposed to be when the VR player gets possessed. Then we have Dreadbear, which is supposed to go over the fact that Glitchtrap was able to be saved because they were going to delete the consciousness off, but thanks to a new follower that he possessed, she was able to condense his file into a plushie. And it isn't detectable by the system anymore to be deleted. So to avoid him getting taken out the VR system so he can still exist, the follower with the rabbit mask, thanks to Grim Foxy Corn Maze, we learn that she's a follower thanks to possession, and basically she's the reason why he's able to stay as a consciousness, and basically keeps the file to convert him into real life again. Which then there's AR, Special Delivery. Now that they've gained people's trust, they start doing a Circus Baby in rentals, and they remake the old animatronics. And this tech team has someone who is an old tech member of the VR system, which we learn, I believe, is just known as V at the time. It's not Vanessa, it's just by her initials. And the person who looks over files to kind of red flag, like, hey, this is getting searched up on company time, I need you to look into it. And it's basically, we learn that there's the person that's getting red flagged is, one, looking up torture methods, and two, looking up, like, trying to stop possession is basically what it is. So whoever this initial person, these people with this initials is the person who was taken over in the VR game. And I believe they do call out that it is Vanessa, or something like that, in the text. And he likes Vanessa, so he wants to kind of be the nice guy. But then we have security breach. We start the game with what is believed to be Michael taking over identifying that Gregory could possibly be crying child. So him taking over Freddy is why he shuts down. Things aren't making sense now that I'm thinking this through. Gregory's getting hunted down by Vanessa, who is now the head of security, thanks to two things. One, a CEO or a higher up of Fazbear Entertainment has pushed Vanessa up the ladder and promoted her, or not promoted her, but suggested her. And when someone like that says this person getting hired as such, it happens. Um, and then apparently there was a meeting that calls all employees to the break room that we see in the, I believe it's delivery. And there's a delivery wing, and there is like a cafeteria for employees, and it's completely disgusting, shattered, tables flips, and this is supposedly where the meeting took place, and it is believed that the employees of almost all the sections were killed in this. Um, and then also explain, and we also have a little bit of more Vanessa story thanks to um, special disc you can find when you have Roxy eyes. You have the ability to put these into a tape player, which actually helps you. Um, it is like cancerous trying to understand this. Um, that she was told by entertainment that she needed a therapist, and basically, thanks to her being possessed by William Afton, she fights. Like, she still shows parts of herself, but there's a waving of consciousness happening through her things. And then we have another patient, which, thanks to a new Fazbear Fright, well, actually, no, Tales from the Pizzaplex book, we learn that it's possibly that Gregory hacks 1, the animatronics, 2, games, because we see GGY, and 3, that this is person that possibly was the one who killed all the therapists, because he was seen therapist. So Gregory, before security breach, killed a bunch of therapists for questioning where his actual motives are, because they were going over things like your parenthood is explained like as if basically there was William Bill. He was such a negative parent that he talked the new other patient 46 I believe it is, into siding with him instead of the mom, and the mom possibly caused unaliving. I'm trying to because it gets blurted out and gets redacted off the file, but and then we learn from another therapist that whomever patient 46 is, they had a good childhood, and the story they were getting told throughout the tapes was a lie. We also find what is possibly a room of Michael's, which is possibly taken from William's house. I'm trying my hardest to understand this. Because here's the other thing that I gotta say this, is if Gregory was the one to hack the animatronics and all that, there should be no reason that all the animatronics are running after him. But they do. Then, we gotta understand that Vanessa, her consciousness is locked away in a set of Princess Quest arcade cabinets that are hidden away, and we learn that a few people have taken the shots at these, hoping that they would be able to finish it. It is believed that the person who was marked red flags on the tech team to help Vanessa avoid any problems in the company, like, hey, stop searching these things, or what is happening with these things. He basically goes into the Pizzaplex and tries to free Vanessa from apparently this arcade. And it is believed by multiple people that either Vanny does find him, kills him, or lets him go thanks to Vanessa's influence. But there was a scramble that stopped him from intervening. And then we can go into the underground, which shows Five Nights at Freddy's 6 pizza place that is the burnt remains of that Fnaf 6, and it says in a lot of guides that Cassette Man failed at what he was doing, which he didn't fail. There's just a backup to what he was doing. Well, actually, no, he did fail because a lot of people say that Molten Freddy was still alive, possibly Scrap Baby's still alive. The only person that really looks actually... There's two people that actually died in this that didn't technically possess anything. Henry has no connection to this, apparently. It's weird that Henry doesn't get taken, unless he is literally the takeover of the Blob, which then you gotta wonder why he's trying to kill off Gregory. And there's also the fact that William Afton didn't come back, and he had to be uploaded to a consciousness. Like I said, I try to make sense of security breach, but that is all I can do. I'm gonna go write down and figure out the books and make it a final video. Elston Ruin, which will be on SP Studio / B.O.L.T Family. I'm having trouble trying to change the names on these things. You can go see the summary of Five Nights at Freddy's Ruin when it comes out over there. Elston Fan Games, which I'm coming to an end, I believe. At some point in May, there will be no else than some possible fanverse initiatives, or in Ruin. This channel and the next channel should be almost done with Five Nights at Freddy's. I love Five Nights at Freddy's, but explaining it is such a headache. I don't do the detail that MatPat does, but it does burn you out a lot trying to explain it. Anyways, I'm gonna go do tomorrow's video, and I'm going to have a better thought about it. I am sorry, but that is the best I can do to understand I am the fandom. What the heck is happening?